Boom! That'll leave a mark. Jesus, look at that fucking hole in the floor. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to another episode of the Darwin Awards. As we're fond of saying here on the channel, guns are awesome. Idiots, on the other hand, not so much. When you put the two of those things together, you could end up with a recipient of the Darwin Award. Darwin Award, of course, referring to the metaphorical award you receive when you do something stupid and voluntarily remove yourself from the gene pool. In this episode, we're going to have explosions, negligent discharges, and maybe even a high-velocity castration. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. As always, the purpose of these videos is to use entertainment to try to educate people on proper firearm safety. Anything graphic or potentially disturbing will be blurred, of course, to comply with YouTube guidelines. Hi there, YouTube manual reviewer. Hope you're having a good day. But anyhow, let's go ahead and start off on the shallow end with something non-graphic. You know, ease into it. So we have a gentleman here who's going to chamber his Beretta-style handgun. His finger's away from the trigger, yet something magical happens. I don't have any audio for this one, but I'm sure you can figure out what it sounds like. That right there is the face of genuine fear. The gun appears to have slam fired, maybe it's a stuck firing pin, who knows. This was just our starter clip, not technically Darwin Award worthy, because I don't think this guy actually did anything wrong necessarily, except for not pointing his pistol down range when he chambered it. I'm sure if there were people over on the base to his right, they would have appreciated if he had angled that pistol a little bit more down range first. This goes to show the importance of the 4 basic rules of firearm safety. For the uninitiated, I'll go ahead and go through those now. Treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Know your target and what's behind it. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and never point your firearm at something you are not willing to destroy. So because this guy had his weapon pointed in a more or less safe direction, nobody got hurt. Because as you should know, it matters what direction you point shit. Just ask this game show host who didn't know which direction to point her prop flamethrower.
Wat vinden jullie van dit hier? Goed kijken, hè?
Now, if you laughed at that, it means you've got a pretty dark sense of humor. If you got a dark sense of humor, you probably belong on this channel, let's be honest. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Gun videos and fucked up humor is kind of what we do here. Now, this one's a fun one.
You know what I'm saying? This is my baby right here. This is the first gun I ever bought legally.
Pause. First off, this is the first gun you bought legally?
What an odd thing to say.
Not sure I'd be putting that on the internet, but hey, let's keep going.
I'll take this bitch apart if y'all want. If I could remember my fucking high ass.
Well, that sobered him up pretty damn fast. He went to take the gun apart but didn't check the gun first. Just because the gun has no magazine or has an empty magazine doesn't mean there can't still be a round in the chamber. Always clear your guns before you fuck with them or take them apart. I think he said he's, quote, high AF.
If I could remember my fucking high ass.
Kind of hard to hear him through his blazed ghetto mumble. But pro tip, don't handle guns when you're high AF. And if you absolutely have to, for some fucking reason, be sure to drop the magazine and clear it first so this doesn't happen to you. Next up, we have some explosive new entries. No, literally, they're fucking explosives. For our first one in this category, we have a robust gentleman shooting an oven filled with Tannerite or some other binary explosive from far too close. Let's watch him get the prize inside. Watching that for the first time made me want to physically jump out of the way. But yeah, Mule Team 6 there almost got a high-speed lobotomy. To top things off, when he turned around, he still had his loaded and chambered AR almost pointed directly at his friends. Not a great plan. Also, just as a side note, remember guys, personal fitness is important. An AR-15, or in this case, 2 of them, an AR-15 isn't super useful if you can be defeated by, stairs, or narrow doorways, or your own arteries. Not saying this to dig at anybody in particular, but remember the reason why we carry, the reason why we have guns. Your personal fitness is important to that end. So if you guys needed that extra little push to start taking care of yourselves, just know that I believe in you. You got this. I want that AKG Nation looking swole. Summer's here and we have women to not talk to. Man, do I love gun safety. The only thing I love more than gun safety is military surplus. Okay, maybe not more, but it's close. But if you love military surplus as much as I do, check out my homies over at Americana Pipe Dream. Right now they've got Swiss camo jackets for like 22 bucks. Don't need that in Texas at the moment, but most of you live in a place where it's not 103 fucking degrees. Got a woman you like? Buy that bitch some Alpenflage. Bitches love Alpenflage. You know, we love those guys. Check them out using the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. Anyhow, microwaves. Here we have some kind Appalachian folks blowing up a microwave in the middle of the fucking street. What in the goddamn America?
I like that, dude.
Come on, Dick! Oh my god, are you okay?
I know it's not technically guns, but come on, it kind of fit the theme.
Come on, Dick!
It did, in fact, come on, Dick. For our last Tannerite entry, this one went viral a little while back. So this dude is shooting at... Fuck, is that another microwave? What is it with these people and blowing up cooking appliances? Jesus, I thought I had to worry about meth heads taking my microwave. Turns out it's just fucking Tannerite users. Anyhow, he's shooting at a microwave filled with what we will find out is far too much Tannerite from far too close. Let's find out together how this works out.
Oh,
That's a bleeder.
don't look at it. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, don't look at it, it's okay. I mean, yeah, you're right. You probably shouldn't prioritize looking at it over, you know, going to the hospital. That's the motherfucker about getting hit in the face. Faces like to bleed. The primary thing, and this is kind of the common theme with a lot of these other videos, is this is far too close of a distance. Primarily when you're putting Tannerite inside of something. Particularly something, I don't know, metal and potentially jagged when it comes to shrapnel. See, what you've really just done is you've turned a perfectly safe binary target into a really ghetto and shitty hand grenade. Because now it's in something, everything that's around that thing is going to be pressurized and then spewed out omnidirectionally at a high rate of speed. Not great for anyone standing around it. I personally would be okay with shooting Tannerite that close if it wasn't inside of something. Worst thing you have to worry about there is the pressure wave, which, you know, if too close with too much, you know, explosives, can lead to TBI. But with things like C4 breaching charges, shit like that, like, you could still get reasonably close as long as you don't have to worry about shrapnel. Been there, done that.
Just gonna send it. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, you put it inside of something, like something metal, and yeah, you have problems. So this gentleman in question goes by Z.O. Choppa. He posted this update photo from the hospital later, and other than a gnarly head wound, thankfully he seems to be okay. But while he's recovering, if he's interested in getting his start in gunsmithing and weapons technology, I hope he knows he can go to SDI using the links down in the description of the pinned comment. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Flawless victory. By the time you saw it coming, it's too late. Anyhow, main sponsor of the channel, had to do it to him. Oh man. Anyhow, this one is, unique. Kentucky man shot his roommate in retaliation for eating last Hot Pocket. Honestly, I get it. It's still wrong, and homie is going to prison, most likely. But I get it. Pictures of who this Kentucky man was are kind of scarce, and not a lot of information on this one, but I have my suspicions. Here we have another one that's been doing the rounds. This one I was told is from South Africa. We have a security guard who's doing his guarding duties, holding a shotgun. A shotgun he has clearly gotten in the habit of resting on his foot. You and I both know where this is going, but let's watch it play out together. Boom! That'll leave a mark. Jesus, look at that fucking hole in the floor. Now, whether it's shock or he's holding on to whatever remains of his pride, he just kind of stands there for a moment, as if wondering how bad it is without wanting to move his foot and check. Once he does move his foot, we see a nice little puddle of O-positive people juice there. Yeah, it's not great. He moves it again to discover a new puddle, and then hobbles off, determining that it's probably time to go get some first aid of some sort. Either that or a new pair of shoes that doesn't have a suspiciously buckshot-shaped hole. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Now for this last video, we have some sort of ring security camera, and we start out in media res. That means in the middle of the action for those non-movie nerds among you. We don't get to see the action, we just see a guy running up to the door, screaming the one phrase no man ever wants to have to say.
Hey! I just shot myself in the dick! Hey, Cuzzo! What? I just shot myself in the dick, bro. What? I just shot myself in the fucking dick, bro. Oh, man. Drive me to the hospital. Oh. Cuz, drive me to the hospital.
That sucks. Not much more to say about that other than fuck, dude. Best case scenario, he just got 115 grain circumcision. Worst case scenario, he's halfway finished with bottom surgery.
I just shot myself in the dick.
Happy Pride Month to you, sir. Unfortunately, the fucked up part is there was a little bit of collateral.
I just shot my dog. Who got hit? Who got hit too, boy? Come on, just who got your dog? My dog! Hey, take my dog inside. Take my dog inside.
Good news on that front, though, the dog was not seriously injured. As you can see, the dog was kind of hobbling up to the front door. It clearly had been hit somehow. Good news there, though, I did some digging, and apparently the dog was only minorly hit in the paw and was able to make a full recovery. There's no need for man's best friend to win a Darwin Award by proxy. As for our friend here with dubious gun safety, he may not have been so lucky. Turns out his gun came with a built-in decocker. Anyhow, in that way, I believe this gentleman was our winner for this episode of the Darwin Awards. As you can see, there's quite a few videos in this series, so if you'd like to check them out, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the playlist down in the description. I know you guys love these Darwin Awards videos, and if you stay to the end of the video, you've got a dark sense of humor like I do, so, you know, we mesh perfectly. So go ahead and give them a look if you haven't already, and if you want to see more videos like this, the Darwin Awards, and some of the other stuff we got going on the channel, be sure to subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end, and as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
For the uninitiated, fuck me. Summer's here and we have women to not talk to.